Yeah, run.
I call the Finance Committee to order, please. Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Mr. Smith, Ms. Tanner,
Here.
Mr. Burke, Mr. Bender,
Here.
Mr. Corbin, and Mr. Strickland. We have a quorum.
Thank you. First item on the agenda is the monthly finance report. Annie, please.
Yes, ma'am. Good afternoon. For your monthly finance reports, the first report is the Sales Tax District 3 sales tax collections through May of 2025 as compared to the prior 3 fiscal years. So for the first 5 months of the year, we are still seeing that trend increase. It's about 3.5% for the first 5 months of the year. So the budget is, we're coming in about $2 million in for the first 5 months over budget. And if the 3.5% trend continues for the remainder of the year, we expect to be $3 million over budget at the end of the year. And so we expect the net collections to us to be about $78.5 million for Sales Tax District 3. The second report is the sales tax collections for the Highway 21 Economic Development District, and it's a similar story there with the increasing tax collections for the first 5 months of the year. Those are about $250,000 to $300,000 above what the budget is for this point in time. We expect the actual to be about $500,000 over budget by the end of the year, and for collections to be in the about $1.4 million range by the end of the year. So, you know, given where we are at today, we expect that trend to continue and to hold on for the remainder of the year, unless something shifts, you know, economically before the end of the year.
Do we
Are there
have
any questions?
idea why this is what's going on? I mean, everybody projected sales tax was going to fall, and we're seeing just the opposite.
At this point in time, it's not due to any one store or any one vendor at this point in time. It appears to be just overall growth at this point in time. So we are concerned that it will, you know, possibly continue, you know, at some point go down, or that we might see some kind of decrease in the trends. So we're trying to watch it as consistent as possible and look at the individual vendors, you know, look at the top 20% to see what happens to those as the months go by. But we're not seeing a decrease at this point in time.
Okay, we'll keep it.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Continue, please.
You're welcome. The next report we have for you are the operating and grant funds with the projected fund balances as of June 30th. So this is a picture for the first half of the year. And since we've completed the audit, the fund balances that are presented for you now are the audited fund balances. So they have been trued up to those numbers. So if you take a look at the report, the audited fund balances represent what was audited as of 12/31/24, which is the beginning 1/1/2025 numbers. And so you'll see now that as we talked about before, in the general fund, we thought we'd have a little extra money there in the general fund. So $900,000 is our budgetary projected fund balance at the end of this year that we'll have available. In Sales Tax District 3, or the Public Works Fund, we have a projected available fund balance of about $17 million. We talked about drainage maintenance before. Due to some adoptions of funds for capital projects, we're projecting $2.7 million in that fund at the end of the year. And then animal services, we haven't amended the budget yet for that, for the increase in the ad valorem based on the roll forward. But right now, the projected available for the end of the year is right over $300,000. So if you look at that first set of columns there, the budgetary fund balance, that'll show you where we're projected with the budgeted revenues and expenditures to date. Does anybody have any questions on this report and where we stand? Okay. And then the last report is the budget to actual comparison for the year through June 30th. So like I said, this is for the first 6 months of the year, or 50% of the year. So this is a pretty good indication of where we stand. And if you look at most of the department's expenditure budgets, you'll see that they're in line with expenditures and encumbrances of usually in the 40 to 50% range. So the majority of them are on line with their expenditures and where they stand there. From the revenue standpoint, it's a little harder to see because the revenues don't come in on a monthly basis in most places. Ad valorem, we won't get those numbers until the end of the year. And then sales taxes are usually 2 months behind. And then some of the other revenues are quarterly. But looking at them, for what has come in to date, we feel comfortable with the numbers that are coming in, and that the different revenue sources seem to be coming in and materializing like we thought they would be. And then one good thing is that interest income still seems to be where we thought it would be, and it's in line with what we projected. It's a little bit above projection, so that's good news. Does anybody have any questions on this report? Okay.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Okay. All right. Resolutions. The first resolution is, first ordinance calendar number 7927, ordinance to amend the 2025 operating budget, amendment number 12.
All right, so operating budget amendment number 12 is to amend the beginning fund balance, like we just talked about, as projected to the audited fund balance from the auditors as of January 1st, 2025. And in the administrative comment, we go through what the significant components to those amendments are if the fund balance changed by anything greater than $100,000. The amendment also has, based on those changes to the fund balances, some additional amendments to different funds. So there's an amendment to the public health and safe haven funds to increase the revenues in the safe haven fund by $304,293, and the expenditures out of the public health fund by the residual fund balance that was left available in public health from 2024 to 2025. And then we're able to increase expenditures in the safe haven fund to fully fund the utility and maintenance costs for the remainder of the fiscal year by $150,000. Also, in Highway 21 Economic Development and the EDD funds, we're able to close out the EDD fund for the residual fund balance that was available and transfer that over to the Highway 21 Economic Development Fund by $306,847. We also needed to amend the Lighting District 10 fund balance. It was short by $45.83, so we needed to reduce expenditures by that since the residual fund balance available from 2024 was short by that amount of money. GOMESA, we're increasing the debt fund for the revenues based on the actual GOMESA grant proceeds and the interest earnings projected by $290,000. And as such, we're able to increase the expenditures, which are then going to be split 50% to turbo redeem bonds and then 50% back to the parish for capital projects. And then we needed to amend the St. Tammany Parish Corner and Library debt service funds by very small amounts, $376 and $1,433 respectively, to amend the transfers out to close out those funds from the remaining fund balances from last fiscal year. So those are the amendments contained within the operating budget amendment number 12.
Do I have any questions? Okay, thank you. Ordinance calendar number 7928, ordinance to amend the 2025 operating budget, amendment number 13.
All right. Operating budget amendment number 13 is for the Utilities Operation Fund for $7 million, and it's to amend the budget for the DEQ revolving loan that we obtained for the construction of the new 350,000 gallon per day Goodby Regional Wastewater Treatment Plant. The total project budget is $9,932,492. We'll also see this on another agenda item, capital amendment number 21.
Any questions? Okay. Ordinance calendar number 7929, ordinance to amend the 2025 grant budget, amendment number 7.
All right, grants budget amendment number 7 is similar to the ordinance for the operating budget in that we're rolling over the residual funds. So we received various awards in prior years for grant funds, and we're rolling over the available funds that are still available for expenditure from 2024 to 2025. Those funds are available for a multitude of projects and programs, including opioid, coastal, culture, recreation, economic development, health and welfare, infrastructure, homeland security, residential mitigation, transportation, drainage, water and sewer quality, coastal restoration, animal services, buildings, and disaster relief. The total grants that we are able to roll forward to 2025 for expenditure are $163,837,956.
Any questions? Okay. Ordinance calendar number 7930, ordinance to amend the 2025 grants budget, amendment number 8.
All right, grants budget amendment number 8 is to transfer unobligated funds from the Treasury's Restore Act of $704,863 to a capital projects fund for the Materials of Opportunity project. We'll also see this on a companion ordinance for capital amendment number 19.
Questions? Okay. Ordinance calendar number 7931, ordinance to amend the 2025 capital improvement budget and capital assets, amendment number 19, coastal restoration capital project.
All right, so capital amendment number 19 includes 3 projects for coastal restoration and development. The first is for federal program management phase 2 for $100,000. This is to advance and support implementation of a generational flood protection project that will safeguard lives, property, and economic stability for decades. The parish will amend its existing contract under the task of program management. This will be funded by GOMESA funds. The second project on this ordinance is for Materials of Opportunity. It will develop a program to best reutilize and repurpose various materials which would otherwise traditionally be discarded or underutilized. It will include, but not be limited to, concrete, repurposed glass, and Christmas trees. The total project budget is $4,181,907. It is funded by GOMESA, which of $100,000, and the Treasury Restore Act funds totaling $4,071,907, of which a portion was from unobligated previous year's funds from Companion Ordinance Grants Amendment number 8. The third project on this ordinance is for the Chifuncta habitat restoration of to construct a breakwater system along the vulnerable shoreline of the Lake Pontchartrain Basin to serve as a frontline defense against escalating coastal erosion and storm surge. It's also to ensure the long-term protection of unique wetland habitats and safeguarding the town of Madisonville and West St. Tammany Parish. The total project budget is $2,593,700. It is funded by GOMESA, $1,593,700, and CPRA funds of $1 million.
Any questions? Okay. Rick?
On that materials of opportunity,
Pressure light, please.
Press your mic.
I'm sorry. On the materials of opportunity, each year approximately 500,000 is made available to St. Tammany. Who makes that available? That 500,000?
Department of Treasury.
Department of Treasury? Is that out the kindness of their heart? I mean, is it in writing, or how long they continue to do that?
You know the background. It's a settlement agreement from the VP oil spill to the U.S.
Okay.
Department of Treasury. It's a 15-year payout. Totals about $6.2 million. I think we're about halfway through, about 7 years into it, so
Okay.
it's,
So it was a settlement agreement?
yeah.
Gotcha. I was just curious where it was coming from and who's obligated to continue to do it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Ordinance calendar number 7932, ordinance to amend the 2025 capital improvement budget and capital assets, amendment number 20, utility capital project.
All right, capital amendment number 20 is for the Goodby Regional Wastewater Treatment Plant for $7 million for that construction of the new 350,000 gallon per day wastewater treatment plant. The existing wastewater treatment plant will be decommissioned upon completion of the new plant. The total project budget is $9,932,492, as we discussed on that companion ordinance operating amendment number 13.
Any questions? Okay, I need a motion and a second on ordinance calendars number 7927, 7928, 7929, 7930, 7931, and 7932 to refer to the full council. Thank you. Any other business? Do I hear a motion to adjourn? Thank you.